The following is an anecdote about Huang Hui, a famous prime minister of the Joseon dynasty. Episode 1. Coex. The beginning of the incident. Not long after Huang Hui took office, he was appointed as a secret royal inspector. In the Joseon dynasty, secret royal inspectors were officials who traveled incognito to monitor local magistrates on behalf of the king. One day, while Huang Hui was inspecting the Hamgyongdo region, he wanted to learn about the local magistrate's reputation among the villagers. As he walked along the road, he saw an elderly farmer plowing a field with 2 oxen. Instead of directly asking about the magistrate, Huang Hui decided to strike up a conversation more naturally. He called out to the farmer, "Sir, of those 2 oxen, which one works better?" At Huang Hui's question, the farmer suddenly stopped plowing. He halted the oxen, crossed the field and came outside. Then, quite unexpectedly, he grabbed Huang Hui's sleeve and led him behind a village guardian tree. In a very soft whisper, the farmer said into Huang Hui's ear, "The yellow ox works well and listens obediently, while the black one is strong but cunning and difficult to handle." Surprised by the farmer's cautious behavior, Huang Hui asked, "Sir, is that really such a big secret? You could have just told me right there in the field. Why come all the way here and whisper?" The elderly farmer replied, "Even though they're just animals that can't speak, they can still sense whether they are liked or disliked. If I had said it there, the one I praised would be fine, but the one I criticized might feel hurt. They may not understand human words, but since they work hard for me, I don't want to hurt their feelings." Huang Hui felt as though he had been struck by the farmer's words. Embarrassed, he simply responded, "Ah, I see." In the end, he never asked about the magistrate's reputation. As he continued on his way after bidding the farmer farewell, an indescribable smile appeared on Huang Hui's face. Deeply moved by the farmer's thoughtfulness, Huang Hui decided from that day forward to refrain from speaking of others' strengths or weaknesses. Episode 2. Who is wrong? One day, Huang Hui was chatting with his wife in their room. Suddenly, voices of an argument could be heard from the yard. It was the sound of 2 young maidservants quarreling. Startled, Huang Hui's wife opened the door and shouted, "How dare you be so noisy when the master is present?" The surprised maidservants quickly bowed their heads, not knowing what to do. Watching the situation, Huang Hui calmly called them, "You 2 come in here." Fearing punishment, the young maidservants entered the room with frightened faces and prostrated themselves flat on the floor. "Master, we've committed an unforgivable offense. In a moment of heated emotion, we raised our voices without realizing you were present. Please forgive us just this once. I'll decide whether to forgive you or not after hearing what happened. You 2 are usually so close. What could have caused such a fight?" The girls hesitated for a moment at Huang Hui's question. Finally, the maid named Gobden opened her mouth. "In truth, we argued over preparations for the banquet. It's an important event that even Her Majesty the Queen will attend. To maintain proper formality, every ingredient must be carefully selected. That's why, though time-consuming, I've been going to the market daily to purchase only the finest ingredients." But Onion scolded me, saying my method is too slow and inefficient. After listening to Gobden, Huang Hui thought for a moment and said, "I see. You're right. In all things, formality is important. Now then, Onion, do you have anything to say?" "Master, there's only a week left before the banquet. It's a grand event with Her Majesty attending, and I worry that if we proceed too slowly, we might not finish in time. While finding the best ingredients is important, I believe completing everything on time is even more crucial. That's why I said there's no need to insist only on the absolute finest items." Hearing Onion's words, Huang Hui once again paused in thought before saying, "Now that I hear it, you are also right." At that moment, a look of relief briefly passed over Onion's face. Just then, Huang Hui's wife, who had been silently listening, spoke up. "My lord, if you say you're right to one and also you're right to the other, then who is actually right? Shouldn't you judge who is correct and who is not?" At her words, Huang Hui looked slightly troubled for a moment, then smiled gently and replied, "Now that I hear your words, you 2 are right." "Haha. What? My lord, honestly." His kind-hearted smile made even his wife burst into laughter. Huang Hui added with a smile. Gobden values formality, while Onion values practicality. Both viewpoints make sense. But since action must be taken, your suggestion that a clear decision should be made also has merit. His wife laughed once more. Gobden and Onion looked at each other and giggled, as if they had never fought at all. As this anecdote shows, Huang Hui was cautious even in trivial matters and responded flexibly according to the situation. He served in public office for 73 years and held the position of Chief State Counselor for 18 of those years. Not only was he recognized for his competence as an official, but he was also revered as a model of integrity who rigorously upheld personal discipline, one of the most respected ministers in the 500-year history of the Joseon dynasty. Perhaps it was the respect and reflective attitude he learned in his youth from an old farmer in the countryside.